Everyone, today is Monday, May 28th. So today actually marks the 5th day out of surgery. Yep. So as I actually shared a little bit during the night last night, it's been really hard for me to sleep. It's been really annoying, mostly with pain when I'm sleeping, but yeah, and then during the day, things have been very dizzy, as I've mentioned before. So we actually called the doctors today. The on-call doctor, today's Memorial Day, said that I'm experiencing a bit of vertigo right now. So the whole room kind of moves in my head in some ways, or eyes, as well as me. So it's been really annoying. It makes things like yesterday's walk like incredibly slow. Today, as we try to run some errands, I took a lot longer. Not only walking, but even just getting out of the car, just kind of like standing there for a moment, just to let things kind of slow down, and then get back to, in some ways, homeostasis before I can, really walk again. Because once I start walking, then things just start like moving around. So, I've been really trying to take it a bit slower today, as well as just sitting on a couch like I am rather. So, doing that, the recommendation there is just to drink plenty of fluids, but also to just relax even more. And being horizontal does help me more than sitting or obviously walking or anything else. So, to potentially encourage me to lay down. So, really hard for me to do since I get incredibly bored. So other than that, actually, it's been 5 days, so I guess other things that I've realized that are potentially good tips for those of you who are considering ACDF. I can't speak to any other type of fusion or microdiscectomy or what's the other one? Total disc replacement. But at least for me, one disc, one level, rather, ACDF. I don't have a list, so I'm just gonna have to just talk about it out loud. But one of them is being wary of potential dizziness and vertigo. So I did take the Zofran, or also known as ondansetron. Again, the transformer sounding one. I took one of those earlier today because it's supposed to help with nausea and like that feeling of vomiting, which I dry heaved several times over the last few days. It's just been really annoying because not only is it dry heaving and you're about to potentially throw up, but also it puts a lot of jerking motion on the neck, which, as you can probably think, it is painful. So I took one of those today, but that really hasn't really been that great for me, so I don't think I'm going to continue that. I mean, I haven't taken that for 2 or so days. And then I got some Tylenol today, or at least some store brand one from Walgreens or CVS. So I've taken that a few times. I think there's 200 milligram tablets. So taking about 400 milligrams per time right now, just trying to deal with some of the pain without having to take oxycodone, because I also do not feel great with that. So just being aware of the dizziness. The second piece is, as I described the other day, not necessarily a stool softener, because that's what they prescribe, but also one that helps you go is good. Also, luckily, Emery gave me one of those mugs with like a straw in it, with a little bendy straw. That's really good. Using straws, as much as I try not to, has been really good for this, because bending over and everything else has been has been a nuisance, plus it's painful. So bending straw is really great to just be able to hold it up and not having to like bend or anything. So that's really good. Other things are having just different like button-down shirts, or at least if they have collars, then make them like really soft. So none of the business casual or formal, for that matter, collared shirts, just so that if you have to like kind of put this over the collar or anything else, that it's just soft, and so it's more comfortable. Otherwise, this is actually a kind of deep V-neck that's been stretched over the years. Henleys work out well, but really I've also got a full button up the other day with no collar, so it's called a banded collar. So that has been really good. And potentially some pillows and the like. So I haven't necessarily put all my pillows into a wedge shape. I think I'm going to do a little bit of that today. I'm not going to put like a really steep incline or anything, just a little bit of a gradual one. But realizing that I should probably actually start a little bit at my shoulders, and then having it go up, and not just right there on my head, but actually like an actual wedge. I think that's going to be helpful for me. So just as another kind of tip. You'd probably already guess, things to kind of fight the boredom, and like Netflix shows or any other TV shows, which is good. Then other than that, like soft foods has been really good for me. I had some rice yesterday, and I haven't really ate that much rice in a while, but that could be a little bit al dente or a little bit firmer. So actually, the chicken noodle soup from like Chef Boyardee or something was actually good, because it kind of just flows right down the throat, which again, I'm having still not necessarily a difficulty anymore, but it's more just a little bit of discomfort when swallowing. So that has been really good. If you eat anything else like today, I actually used my Instant Pot and made a pot roast. So with the meat and everything else just being really small with it, so that again it goes down. And also adjusting, if you have one of these separate collars that actually has multiple settings, actually decrease the, oh no, that's going the other way, going the other way. So if you can see, it actually decreases that distance right here, so it doesn't push my chin up so much. So I have a little bit more space right now. Makes talking easier, but also eating and swallowing easier. So just consider that as well. And then when you're using things like a dressing, just to also avoid the tape when they from the incision. So that's really good. I'm trying to think other things. It's really the ones that are really popping into my head right now. Other things, I'm always almost pulling this down some, just to give myself a little bit more space, just to talk and everything else. But if you're most likely riding, especially immediately after surgery, you're not driving. If you're riding, then being careful of things like speed bumps or just uneven terrain or roads. So when that happens, like, you start really realizing how good the pavement is, or how smooth the roads are, or not smooth. So just paying attention to that. So yeah, nothing too crazy. I've had a lot of friends continue to message me and everything, so it's been really good, really positive. With that, everyone wants to come over or cook or do something. I'm not really one of those guys that just accepts all that, so but it's really great to have their support. Yeah, speaking of the vertigo, I'm having a little bit of the vertigo right now, so I think I'm going to end the video I'll think of other things and maybe even write it down. Yeah, it's making me like kind of like a little woozy. So, anyways, those are some tips. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me know if you have any questions. So, onward to Tuesday.